Hi, my name is Ryan Lichtefeld, and I am going to give you the first ever for Midwest Mortgage Capital Friday Guideline Update. This is something that we're just starting, so bear with us. Even the name is a work in progress. First thing we're going to discuss is why you should care about guidelines. And the reason we think so is we're of the opinion that the more educated you are, this goes with understanding market conditions as well as understanding guidelines, the better real estate agent you're going to be. Therefore, the better off your buyers are going to be, and therefore the more referrals you should get. I illustrate this with the logo from NBC's The More You Know campaign, which is just a campaign they started decades ago to promote education. I'm sure most of you recognize that. Today's guideline, and the first guideline that we're going to go over, is employment history. I put in parentheses there, or lack of employment history, and that's because in today's world we have a lot of individuals that have been laid off recently and are now returning to the workforce and want to possibly buy a home. That's going to happen more and more. In fact, we've already seen it, so we thought it was an important guideline to start off with. The requirements for these individuals. First of all, they need 2 years of good work history. The reason that this is in here, and I want to highlight it, is because it doesn't have to be the last 2 years. If they worked, for instance, in 2008 and 2009, and then were laid off for all of 2010, but now have returned to the workforce, after 6 months in their current job, and that leads us to the second bullet point, they can purchase a house, even though they did not work in 2010. So again, they need 2 years of good work history, but it doesn't have to be the most recent 2 years. But they do need 6 months in their current job in order to use that income to qualify for a mortgage. A couple of notes. First of all, the good note. If your last 2 years were spent in school, you don't need to have been in that job for 6 months. In fact, you don't even need a 2-year work history. You really only need to have been in your job for 30 days, and actually in some cases less than 30 days, which we're not going to go over that in this presentation, but there are instances where you don't even need 30 days in your employment. The bad. I do want to point out that this employment history and these guidelines are different for commissioned and self-employed income. For this type of income, borrowers would need to prove that they have received the income, whether it be commission or income from a company, for at least the most recent 2 years in most cases. The ugly. I'm not sure why I put that on there, other than when you have the good, the bad, you need an ugly, and this certainly applies. Summary. You need, for hourly and salaried borrowers, you will need a couple of things. You'll need 6 months in the same job and a minimum of 2 years of work history. Again, doesn't have to be the most recent 2 years. Also, individuals that have been in school the last couple of years only need to have been in their current job for 30 days. Summary continued. Self-employed and or commission income, a borrower needs to show proof of that income and receipt of that income for a minimum of the 2 most recent years. So that concludes it. We thank you for joining us. We plan on doing this more often and hope that you will join us in the future, and hope that you did get something out of this presentation.